What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are broadcasting live from my bedroom. I wanted to lay down, but I also wanted to come and talk to y'all about Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Okay, this is episode 5, Jamaican Me Crazy. So let's get into it, shall we? Man. Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force. Yeah. Blessing the reap and we coursing on. So y'all, we are back in this episode of Bria doing the most. Okay. Let me tell y'all this. Bria is really getting on my nerves. Like, I really want her to go on somewhere. Okay. Bria is throwing a tantrum because they don't want to let her boyfriend come for a whole week. Now, I get it. The man lives in Germany or wherever the heck that he lives, and it takes a long time to travel there and then go back. Okay. So I get it. I get that it's going to take a long time for him to get there. So for him to stay there for 3 days, that probably wouldn't be ideal. Typically, if you're traveling abroad, you want to stay somewhere for at least a week. So I get it. But the way that Bria is set up, girl, you already got your dog there. You already got you there that we don't want there. So you're doing a whole lot. So everybody is at this toga party. They're having a good old time. Then this is just the aftermath of Silas coming up there having a conversation with her. So now everybody is pacifying Bria because she's all bent out of shape and upset. So they bringing her food upstairs and whatnot. It's just a whole lot. So Jasmine is upset because she's like, you basically disrespected me and my husband outside. Like, you are talking to me as if I don't have a voice in this house. And basically, at the end of the day, I think Jasmine and Silas are pretty much getting all of the backlash from whatever, everybody else is really feeling. Because let's be real, nobody else in the house wanted this man to come and be there for a whole week. Because they're probably like, listen, we are the main characters of this show. We want to be the ones that are being showcased the most. Now you want to bring your dude in here. Like, this is too much. And you already brought homeboy from a couple days ago, Philip or Phil, whatever his name is, that caused the scene. So what is your boyfriend going to do? So I get that everybody is having some feelings about this. So everybody sits down and they have a discussion about basically, okay, are we going to let this man stay here for a whole week or not? Okay. And they come to the consensus of they're only going to let him stay for 3 days. They're like, house guests can only stay for 3 days. Now, mind you, y'all got to remember this show is only taping for 15 days. Okay. So most of the main characters are the ones that obviously are being paid from Bravo to be there for the whole 15 days. So, Bria, if your dude has all this money that you seem like he has, put him in a hotel room for the last couple of days. He can still stay there with you and you can go back and forth and go visit him. You want to have something to say about, oh, I can't F my dog and all this, that, and the third because you hear Silas. And by the way, Silas and Jasmine, I get it. On the regular Summer House, they be up there canoodling and slapping shoes too under the sheets. But Silas, it's not given. It's not given what you're doing to Jasmine in between the sheets. Okay. It's a lot. So they come to the consensus he's only going to stay for 3 days. Okay, cool. All right. So everybody goes to bed. Of course, Silas and and Jasmine are humping around again. And he can't even seem to get into it because everybody brought up the fact that they know that she in there moaning and groaning and they can hear it. So now he can't get his groove on because he can't hear her moaning and screaming. I'm like, did you really think? I just want to know, Silas, did you really think that nobody could hear y'all? I don't believe that you don't think that people couldn't hear y'all. And this ain't your house. So it's not like y'all did like a scream test where you went in another room and she did the and you tested it out. I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna test this out. You didn't check to see if anybody could hear y'all. So I think that Silas got a real, ego spurt because he felt like everybody could hear him pulverizing his wife's uterus, which is like, sir, it's given unpleasurous. Like, you, if that's a word, you are not pleasuring this woman at all. Okay. It was so bad. Alex had to go downstairs, or Amir had to go downstairs and sleep on the daggone couch because it was just giving team too much for him. So the next day, everybody gets up. Jordan is going to be having this brunch where she's celebrating putting a chastity belt on her hoo ha for a whole year. Okay, girl. So you ain't humping. I'm trying to figure out why we should care. That's what I'm really trying to figure out. But hey, you like it and locked it. I love it. Whatever. It is what it is. So everybody's getting together to go and do their prospective things. Um, what's the new dude that just came in the house, y'all? I done forgot his doggone name already. Well, Jasmine's friend that just came in the house. We've learned that he's downstairs talking to Preston as everybody's getting ready. He has a 3-month-old child. Okay. So him and the mother not getting along very well at this point. And, it's a trying time for him, which I'm like, sir, you have a small child. Why are you even in this house? But I guess, you got a kid. This is an opportunity for you to make some money. So you're going to come on TV and you're going to do what you got to do. I get it. It's a great opportunity. Y'all, I'm trying to look. Jason, that's his name. So Jason is basically, telling us about himself with Preston. And they're talking, and they don't even notice that Amir is over there nestled into the couch because he couldn't get a good night's rest on his sleep rest bed in his room because of Silas and daggone Jasmine. So I think Jason is hilarious because even the night before when they were voting, he's like, listen, I just got here. I don't even know most of y'all, him and Summer. And they both looking like, I don't know y'all. Why am I a part of it? Well, how I get in it in my Nene voice. So anyway, they're talking. Amir finally gets up. He's stretching it out. And everybody comes downstairs eventually. Everyone's talking about where they're going to be going. Then Summer talks about this Jamaican dinner that she's going to make for everybody when they come back, which I think is going to be super cool. So while everybody else is getting ready, Bria is in her room, and her room looked like a cyclone hit it the night before. And then Nick comes in and he's like, wow, your room is like completely immaculate and clean now. What happened? She said, well, I decided I'm going to go ahead and stay because at first she was like, oh, I'm going to leave. Now she decides that she wants to stay there. I'm like, girl, you wasn't going no damn way anyway because you wasn't going to get that Bravo check if you had a rolled out sooner than you were contracted to do. So let's just stop playing around, okay? So she has a conversation with Nick, boo-hooing and giving her point that nobody cares about. I just want Bria to go. I just really wanted them. I was hoping. I knew they weren't going to because I saw Simon in extra scenes with her friend that is rather extra, getting in the hot tub with Simon in the next episode with no clothes on, but I digress. But moving on, um she talks to Nick and tells him how she feels, and nobody cares. Moving on, Jasmine is talking to Jordan about the brunch for the day, and again Summer is talking about the dinner that she's going to cook because she's half, I think, Irish and Jamaican or something like that. And she says she's always grown up where she's gone to schools where she was pretty much one of the only Black people there. And so it's good to be able to celebrate that side of her with everybody else, kind of like an Amir story, similar to anyway. So moving on, everybody goes to this brunch. They're sitting around talking. Jordan tells the story of why she decided to be um, celibate, I guess, because she was dating somebody that was in a relationship with somebody already, and he didn't end that relationship, and she thought he did. And so she got all bent out of shape over it. And I guess she felt like her pouvoir was leading her in the wrong direction. So she decided to shut it off for a whole year. I'm like, girl, it just sounds like you just chose the wrong man. But okay, girl, whatever you got to do what you got to do. So then Summer begins to talk, and she said she had a similar situation where she was dating somebody, and they both were in relationships, and then they decided to be together, and then it just didn't end well, and so it brings her to tears, and I'm like, oh Lord, Summer, he must have put it on you because you sitting up here crying over the dick. Okay, girl. Well, hopefully you and Alex can get it together because Alex, I'm just like, is he even here? We don't even really see Alex very much. I've only seen him in a yoga pose, and then that's it. Or being passive aggressive with people. I don't know. I don't get it. But at this brunch, I really like Preston. He is top tier for me. Like I even said this in another video. I like Preston. He's my favorite cast member at this point because he's the one that makes the most sense out of everybody. So he's kind of giving a perspective to all the ladies and giving them advice. And I love the fact that they invited him to this brunch. But one thing that kind of irritated me about Jasmine is like the whole time she's like, don't make this brunch about Bria. And the brunch actually started off with everybody asking Bria how she was doing. And Jasmine's face was already perched up in a prune. And she was pissed off that people brought it up. I'm like, Jasmine, it's a show. It's not all about you. Of course, they're going to talk about the drama. They have to keep the stories going. So they didn't stay on it too long, which was great. So Jasmine is kind of probing Jordan about moving forward and, how she feels about Amir and all this, that, and the third. And I'm like, Jasmine, you have got to stop rushing everybody into relationships because you're married. It's like she keeps her whole story is based around her not knowing how to progress in her relationships with her friends because she's married. And I think she's putting 10 on 20. Like she's putting 20 on 10. It's not that deep. I'm married. I'll be married for 10 years in October. Do you think I give a damn about I mean, granted, I do care to an extent because there's certain things obviously that I can't be doing that my single friends are doing. But I'm not trying to rush them into relationships because I'm married. They live their life. I live in their life wherever I can fit, and that's that. I just don't understand this whole need for her. It seems there's a level of unhappiness that's happening with Jasmine and Silas. I think that Jasmine feels trapped in some sort of way with Silas. I think that Jasmine finds security in Silas. And maybe that time that she was living in the car with her friend Mariah, that may have done something to her. And I don't know what happened when she was living with Jason or whatever the case may be, because apparently that's how her and Jason are friends because they actually were roommates. So I don't know if she finds a level of security with Silas. I already know she faking it with him because them little rabbit pumps he giving her, I know she don't love it because I don't like seeing it. Okay. Now, listen, I'm not totally overgrown and grossed about them having, the sex. I get it. It's a part of life. That's what people do. And I'm not saying Bravo, take it down, but I'm just like, dang, Bravo, can you get a man some pointers? Do a little swirl in there, something. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Moving on. So everybody gets back from the brunch. Okay. And then, so they're all getting ready for the Jamaican dinner that Summer is going to be preparing. I'm like, are y'all even still hungry? You just came back from brunch. But okay. So Summer is sitting down talking to Alex. Alex and Summer are in the room and they're having a conversation. And they're just kind of talking about each other, kind of lightly flirting or whatever. I don't know if I think that Summer and Alex have some type of chemistry. But I think that Alex has a need to be in control. And I think that Summer, like she said at the brunch, she falls really fast. She falls in love real fast. So I don't want her to what I'm afraid of is her getting too googly eyed over Alex and it just really don't work out. That's what I'm worried about. I think she needs to take her time, get to know him. Y'all flirt a little bit, have a little fun, or whatever the case may be, and just figure it out. Don't be trying to rush into nothing. And I hope that that's the mindset for both of them. And it seems that way for Alex. But I don't know if Summer has totally gotten over, rushing into things yet, if you will. So Summer has a chef come in, Chef Don, I believe is his name, and they have this amazing spread of food. I'm like, child, give me a plate, okay? It looks absolutely delicious, and I love Jamaican food. Like y'all probably, I never heard me say this before, but I love, love, love spicy food. So I would have been at that table all day all night. They would have had to drag me away, okay? Because I love some food. I'm a Cancer, and the way to a Cancer's heart is through the plate, okay? And you give me a plate of Jamaican food, oh yes, chef's kiss. Love it. And the spicier, the better, okay? So they're all sitting down, having a good old time eating. They're recapping what each of them have done for the day. They're talking about Simon coming the next day. Listen, we just gonna roll through this next part. Y'all like Simon because Simon brought y'all these watches. That's what it is. Okay, Simon pulls up. We get after the dinner, everybody's had a good old time. Then everybody, of course, goes to their prospective quarters and goes to bed. Um, the next morning, Simon comes in. Okay. Well, they did play one thing I don't want to miss out on. They did play truth or some truth or dare kind of game. And I did think it was cute that it kind of helped everybody to come out of their shell. Amir gave Jordan a little lap dance, which I'm just like, Jordan already done said that she ain't really fooling with Amir at her brunch. So Amir doesn't know that yet at this point. So he's still pursuing her, and at the end of the day, I don't know why Jordan didn't like Amir, because I just feel like Jordan gonna be single for a long time. Because sis is extra picky. Now, not saying that you shouldn't be picky or whatever the case may be, but hold on, y'all. Sorry, my husband was coming in. He don't like to be on camera, child. But anyway, I think that Jordan, yeah, her picker is stagnant. I don't know why she don't like Amir. Not saying that she has to like Amir, because simply Amir is in the house and this is just me. He's merely an option right now. She very well may end up finding somebody else outside of the house, but I think that Jordan is very rebellious, and I think that she's fighting so hard against Jasmine and her opinions that that's probably affecting her getting closer with Amir. It's not anything that Amir is giving off like he's some f boy or whatever, but you know, I don't know. I just think that Jordan, she's a pretty girl, but she thinks way too high of herself, I think. And I'm just like, Jordan, girl, you cute, but it ain't, I mean, it ain't giving what you thought it was giving. But moving on, even Alex and Summer have like a little flirting situation too. And I thought it was interesting that Preston did a little slither of the tongue on Bria's neck, and she was like, "Oh, you was eating pussy. You know something about that?" He was like, "I've had relations with women before. I mean, even though I'm, dating men now, like I've had relations with women in my life." And I'm like, "Excuse me, sir, if you're doing it like that, that is a very wasted interaction." Oof. But moving on. All right, actually, this is the night, y'all, as everybody was talking about Jasmine and Silas sex life in the house, and this was the night that they told them that they could hear them, and so Silas had a bad night, the next day. So moving on, Bria goes out to, I guess, get some things together. Uh, the next morning, Jason is texting the housemate saying lunch at the Black Dog Tavern. I hear it's the best place on the island. And Silas says Jazz and I are going shopping. So everybody was going to different places. Bria was going to get some things for the visit that she has upcoming for her boyfriend Simon. So while everybody is shopping, this is where Jasmine kind of really dives in with, Jasmine dives in with Jordan about, but I know what you really want. And I know that you want to be in a relationship. And what you were talking about at that brunch, that's not the friend that I know. I'm like, Jasmine, how are you going to tell this girl what she wants? If Jordan wants to be single and don't know why, let her go ahead and do that. You got to learn to mind your business, Jasmine. It's becoming team too much. It's just very overzealous what she's doing with trying to force people into relationships in this house. It's really getting stale. It's the highest level of projection that I've ever seen on any show. It's too much. It's like, tell me you unhappy without telling me that you unhappy. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. So Jason and the guys are in a adjacent scene, and Jason is talking about the whole situation at the house, and him having a kid and all this, that, and the third. He's telling everybody else about it. Even Nick is talking about how his girl may come or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, oh, your girlfriend gonna come? The one that you've been hiding? Okay. Whatever. Then they ask Alex about Summer, and he's being really vague about whatever is going on with that. But I'm just like, okay, guys, this is just a lot. So moving on, because they ain't really talking about Jack, y'all. So the next day comes, and everybody is getting ready to go and meet Simon for this dinner that Bria has planned for everybody to meet Simon. So they're all dressed up. Simon is finally coming. He pulls up in this fancy car. I think it's a Corvette. And of course, he got to do the most when he comes. So, he, the day before, he had sent a bunch of flowers or whatever for Bria, I guess. Or was this last episode? I might be mixing it up, child. Don't quote me. So Bria has all this stuff. She's to decorate some balloons and all this stuff. So he comes in the house. Everybody meets him finally. He has some expensive bottle of alcohol that he's brought to the house. So everybody is already on his good graces because they like, oh, you got money. Okay. So we like you, sir. I'm like, oh, so then y'all like him because he bringing expensive stuff to the house and he got liquor. That bring everybody together, right? So Silas was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this man a chance or whatever. So then they go to this dinner or whatever the case may be, and everybody's sitting at the table. And Bria says, we have gifts for everybody. And Silas and Jasmine, since I didn't get to give you a gift at your wedding, pause. Why didn't you give them a gift at their wedding? Who comes to somebody's wedding and don't bring a gift? Or were you even invited? Maybe they didn't have a traditional wedding. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna chop it up to that. Maybe they didn't have a traditional wedding because Silas and Jasmine are giving me courthouse shotgun wedding where we wanted to hurry up and get married because y'all got married in 6 months, 8 months, I believe, of knowing each other. So I'm pretty sure y'all didn't plan no amazing wedding before that. And just a side note, before all of this happened, I thought it was interesting. I want to talk about the haircut situation. Alex was cutting Amir's hair and flirting with Summer. I'm like, okay, Alex, you stringing this. I see you stringing this girl along early on. And I don't know if I likes this. And the whole time Amir was in that chair, y'all, he was looking like, oh Lord, I hope this man don't set me up. And Alex, we kind of got some insight into his background because apparently he didn't really have a lot of money at some point where his dad lost his job. So he started cutting hair in college. So he had to make his own way. So now he cuts his own hair. And I was sitting here like, Amir, I hope he don't set you up either. And it don't really look like he did very much to Amir's hair, but it was enough. It was enough. Like Amir said, he said, this'll do. It's not like Amir gave that, ooh, I love it after it was done. So I thought that was interesting. So moving on, back to the meeting of Simon. So everybody loving Simon. They go to the dinner. Um, and Simon gives out gifts. So he is giving out watches that cost $500, $800, $1,200 watches to Jasmine and Silas. I'm like, oh yeah, looky. Now y'all like them. Mm-hmm. Y'all full of shish. That's what y'all are. Cause now all of a sudden that he giving y'all stuff, he the best thing since sliced bread. Okay. Y'all are crazy to me. So y'all, before we get to the end, let's get into some of these comments. In Theory 2 says all it took was $1,200. Right, exactly. Shan says, "What's up, Shan? How you bees?" Shan says, "I was thinking that too. Why he couldn't get a room for a few days?" Right. Like you could have just got a room for a couple days and that could have alleviated all because you got money, you giving out expensive watches. Come to find out, I heard on Watch What Happens Live, he owns a watch store. So he basically was giving them his inventory, y'all. It wasn't like he went and bought. Now, granted, those watches are expensive, but he has basically people come and give up their old watches or whatever, and then he resells them for a certain value. Kind of like I guess it's like a pawn shop for watches or a specialty in watches, I guess. So he gave everybody all those watches from his inventory, which I thought was interesting. And he buys exotic watches all over the country and brings them into his store and sells them for a price. So those watches had that value, but that's not what he paid for them. He didn't buy those watches at that price. So just a little side note for y'all. My friend Spencer is in the building. Spencer Whitelow says, like I said last week, it has put some music on and he need to get some sexual lessons. Right, Spencer, because that was just doing he is not getting it. He is not getting it. That's why Jasmine said marriage is hard. He just right. It's like, man, let me tell y'all something. We don't like the in and out, in and out, in and out. The only thing we like in and out, well, some of us, is Lotto's song "In and Out" that she just came out with. That's it. I just listen to the music on the iPod, like Nene said. But not, I don't want you to be performing in and out. Just to go. Pound Town is not the town to visit. Don't buy no tickets to that city. It's not for you. Okay. No woman wants that. It's the motion in the ocean for real. You got to have some stroke in your, stick in. You can't just do it like that. You can't do it like that. Well, him and his wife is very delusional. So most likely he thought they could hear the day because they didn't even want her to make noise. I'm confused. Yeah, like y'all know that these are newlyweds, right? I'm just saying. Me and Preston was going back and forth on Twitter earlier this week. What? You were? What was y'all talking about, Spencer? I know you was lighting him up. Or well, maybe having a conversation with him. Because Preston is cool. I think you like Preston, right? That's interesting. I need to go on Twitter and see what y'all trend thread was about. That's funny. Shane says Jasmine misses that single life. He's too controlling. Yeah, I definitely think so. Because I think it was funny how Preston has said, "Do you know you? I wonder what the girls are doing." And he was like probably dancing on tables and getting drinks bought for them. I was like, "Oh Lord." Um, Let me see. Jasmine misses that single life. Um, Amir doesn't appear a bad option. No, I didn't think he was either. I really don't think he was either. Shane says Jordan gives very damaged vibes and doesn't know what she wants. Bingo. Bingo, Shane. Absolutely. 100% agree with you, friend. She don't know what she want. Or Jordan is one of those girls that just thinks that she's hot fire and like she's so dope that she has her pick of the litter, but then she gonna turn around and be 40 and don't have no kids and no man and be like, well, damn, maybe I wasn't hot shish like I thought I was. Now I will say Jordan is the last of a dying breed where she's natural. Of course, we look at what's going on in society right now where people are looking at the internet for their looks and how, what society perceives as beautiful. And I love the fact that she's all natural and she's not out here getting injections in every part of her body and something sucked out of here and put in here. I can appreciate that about her. She actually seems like she takes care of her body naturally. And I think that a lot of men, whether some women know it or not, appreciate that a lot more. So, especially since there's so many women out here that's just looking like caricatures of what a woman should look like. And it's just getting out of control, honestly. It really, really is. So, I think men are really craving for women to be natural and love the skin that they're in versus going out here chasing an image that, really is just getting old. Spencer Whitelow says it was off season, cheaper hotels. Right. Absolutely. I think that, um, you know, that would have been a great option for him to get a hotel, and just be there. I like that reselling watches, expensive watches. That's a good size deer. Yeah, like he's apparently getting a lot of money from it. So I ain't hating on the man. Spencer Whitelow says no. I was just telling him that they need to drink more. Oh yeah, absolutely. Jessica, my girl Jessica's in the building. Jessica Katrine says Jessica be hanging out with me late at night, y'all. I love Jessica. I be on here like 11, 12 a.m., 1 o'clock, and she'll hop on and be like, hey, Shay, I'm up for just a little bit just to see you. And I'm going back to bed. Jessica, how's your dad doing? I wanted to ask you that too. Let me know. If you follow me on Instagram, you should DM me, update me on what's going on. Shay Pound Town, the remix with Nicki is my favorite summer song so far. Absolutely. 100. That's I gotta look that up. Pound Town. That would make a whole lot of sense with what he over there doing. Designs and decor. Good evening, Shay and Chat. Been natural all my life, period. And that's how you should remain, okay? Spencer Whitelow says, yeah, some of the ladies do like cartoons. I'm not to be funny, but I'm on the road drag queens, but some guys don't care if they drag queens or not. Yeah, like I just think that it's just getting out of control with all this stuff. Like we have to learn to and then a lot of times they're getting these surgeries and not doing what it takes to maintain it. They're just going back. That's like their thing. That's their working out. That's their maintaining, continuing to go back. And a lot of this stuff is life threatening. That's they say the BBLs and Heather's husband, that's a surgeon, what's his name? He had that show Botched. He did an interview and said that that's the worst kind of surgery to get because it's so many complications that can happen with it, and a lot of these women like Black China are getting that stuff taken out of their butts and stuff. So I ain't going to do all that. So moving on, y'all, we get to the end of it, the end of the road, okay? And Silas is talking to Jordan about talking to Bria, asking Simon, what's the next level for you guys? It's okay to want to move to the next level in a relationship. Don't let, you know, just basically if you want to get married. He's trying to ask if Simon is going to marry Bria or does he see himself being with her? Because Silas is a big proponent of marriage, obviously, because he's married. And then, Simon says he adores Bria and, he ain't say he was going to marry her because Bria is definitely a lot. I don't know how he deals with her and her. She gives me petulant child. Like I wonder if she grew up getting everything that she wanted. Like if she gives me spoiled, mommy and daddy gave me whatever I wanted, or I've dated a lot of old men that bought me things. Like she's just very childish. And I don't even know how Simon is attracted to that. But who knows, child? She said he got a 10-inch peen. So maybe, and she's so small, taking all that. I don't know what's going on there, but moving on. So that jump starts Jasmine to say, basically, yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like basically telling them don't rush into a relationship. Like she starts to get emotional. Like marriage is not all it's cracked up to be for her. And I'm like, girl, what are you actually missing out on? Like, I feel like if Silas was the type of person that embraced Bria being out with her friends, of course, Bria, you're getting older now. So getting drunk and, laid out on the street and getting thrown out of clubs because you too drunk to know what your last name is do we really want to be doing that anymore? Like, really? I don't really like getting drunk like that no more, y'all. Cause the next morning is just no joke. The hangovers and all of that. Now the fun that we have while this is all commencing is amazing. But the aftermath of this stuff, like it just how many of y'all have said, I ain't drinking no more? You done had a night where you got so drunk that you like, why am I doing this? I'm not doing this no more. Okay, I'm not doing this no more. And then you back doing it again. Now, listen, I loves me a cocktail or two, but I'm going to, at this point in my life, at the age of 37, and next month I'll be 38. Yeah, I'm counting my drinks and I'm sipping them slowly because me and Excedrin, we can't live together. We just can't. because y'all know I do everything the holistic way. So I can't be living with the drugs and I mean the things in my system to manage this stuff. It's too much. So Bria is really like having a flashback moment of, oh my gosh, my life is over. Like, whew, I'm married to this man and he's controlling basically. And I'm like, you know what, Jasmine? It sounds like you need to have a conversation with your husband about how you really feel about how he handles you. That's what I think. And I think that Jasmine allows Silas to blame it on Jordan and all her friends about how they're acting, when they get turned up and all this, that, and the third, or her want to be around her friends and hang out and have a good time. And it's like, but she's playing this housewife mode, which Silas wants. She making his breakfast, making his lunch and his dinner, and she humping up on him whenever he feel like it. It's like she done went back into the 70s and the 80s and the 60s and the 70s playing wifey, and that's not what she wants. I think that she's okay with it, but she needs to find balance in that, and she needs to have a conversation with her husband about how she truly feels. Because Silas is thinking that, oh, okay, I'd have married somebody that we got the same ideals. She wants, she on board with my caveman theory of women, and she's not. So I don't know. Jessica says I get alcohol anxiety, so I'll pick a few nights of the year to go all out. But other than that, sober most of the time. My skin thanks me for it. Girl, yes. Okay. I'm about to say, y'all, my video done went off, child. I'm sorry, y'all. Spencer Whitelow says Jasmine and her husband need counseling because I think I like fall backwards and nothing. I think all of the cast members should. I go to coaches before they come on the show. Yeah, I think, I don't know if they necessarily, this is the first season, so we're kind of getting to know everybody. So counseling is definitely something they need to do after this airs, because they're getting a view of how their relationship looks, and they definitely need to take a look at how they can fix things. Spencer Whitelow says sorry, no, in about 15 years. Child, really? Girl, that is a skill. Okay, that is a skill, honey. Child, because I am a mama and a wife. I got to have me a drink here and there because they be pissing me off. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I don't think I got good service in my room. So we're going to go ahead and end this. Thank y'all for watching. Please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching the show with us too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.